Hope people are hearing me okay. I was having some trouble with this mic earlier this week, but you'll have to let me know if you can hear me all right. There we go. I was waiting for reactions. I was starting to wonder, are people seeing me? And I wasn't sure. But I guess now we're getting a reaction. So good. Good. Hope everyone is doing lovely. This is a little bit of a work in progress, so be gentle, please. I will be curious to see who the first to call out in the chat as to what I'm doing here. I'm hoping there's some who know, please. But we'll see. There's no Starbucks salted caramel this year. Really? I didn't know they cut that. That is a bummer. Watching the stream while making homemade chicken noodle soup. Ooh, lovely. The title says Spoopy Season Livestream. Is that a typo? It is not. It is not a typo. I wrote it that way on purpose. I'm excusing myself from that very... Yes, Carowin, I know you know. I know you know. You're either Mr. Tomless or something from Pan's Labyrinth. Okay, you're in the right neighborhood, but this is something way more specific and actually very specific to me. So, like, I know it's referencing like one of my least viewed side projects, but still. There it is. Thank you, Black Cover. There we go. This is me working on Wisp, which is my Fawn Bard on Quill and Sword, the D&D live stream that I do every other Thursday. So if you've been missing that, you've been missing out on this character. Granted, my first time trying to embody this character personally, but there you go. If I had to guess, maybe Robin Goodfella, aka Puck. Okay, now if you don't know Quill and Sword, that's not a terrible guess. I would really love to play that part. Shall we this idle pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be. My mom knows how to make homemade chicken noodle soup broth, but I never had to use store-bought broth because it's too salty. Good point. We use turkey and chicken bone carcasses and veggies. Ooh, that sounds lovely. On your Twitch live stream, I told you that I'm going to be a reindeer for Halloween. You told me that was a bold choice. How is it bold? Because you're mixing holidays? I don't think my stance was that complicated. But at the very least, like, I'm not surprised most people didn't guess Wisp, but like I'm very happy that lots of people were correctly getting Fawn vibes. So that makes me happy. That tells me I was doing something right. I'm going to be the scariest thing of all, a capitalist. You already are that by having to exist in this society. Scary every day. Can't decide what to be for Halloween. Mermaid, pirate, demon. A demon, pirate, mermaid. Why is that hard? Come on. Hey there, Molly. I haven't said hello. Hello, Carowin. Pirates, Castile, Ben, Ms. Wicked Wolf, Homebody, Emily, Black Cover. I did kind of say hi to you because you got it right. Cappuccino. Lots of folks in. Nice to see you all. Dead Dowerdome? I don't know how to pronounce that one. So this is a reminder that Super Chats is unless you are on the Discord, which is a Patreon exclusive perk, Super chats are the only way to guarantee I will read and respond to your thing, and that will also get you a heart. I do try and keep up with the chat, so I don't want you to think that I am paywalling off me actually answering your thing. But the only thing that guarantees it is the super chat, and that also gets you my appreciation and a heart. So there's that. Well, thank you, Rowan. Where'd I get the fake ears? Etsy. Same with the horns, for that matter. I'm dressing as normal if people ask. I'm a homicidal maniac. They look like everyone else. Very nice Wednesday. Very nice. So cool Doctor Who is coming back on Halloween. My usual watch of Nightmare Before Christmas will have to be bumped. I'm cautiously excited for it. I keep forgetting it's happening on Halloween. That's really going to make Halloween Day itself really cramped for me. Because I'm actually going to be going out and doing stuff with my kid. So, yeah. So the main reason I put all this together is because this is pretty much how it will be once I have the completed thing, from about the waist up. Like maybe I'll finagle a little bit more on the top because right now it's kind of plain and bland. I like the blue, but it's kind of dull. But the thing that's really going to cap this off is stuff that A, I can't afford right now, and B, I couldn't show off even if I had it, which is I want to get hooves and I want to get fur leggings. And I feel like that's going to round the whole thing out perfectly. If my schedule keeps up as it has, I may have to go to bed early Halloween. Oh, that'd be a shame. Oh, God, I'm going to have to... God, I got to get pumpkins. So much stuff to do. Leather chaps top? Maybe. Leather chaps bottom? Ooh. I was watching Corpse Bride, but I decided to watch this instead. Corpse Bride's decent. I remember feeling like almost the inverse about Corpse Bride that I do about Nightmare Before Christmas, at least in regards to the music, because I feel like Corpse Bride would be much better if you stripped out the songs. Like, they're not bad, but it works better as a straight story. Whereas I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas would work much better if the entire thing was a musical and nobody just spoke. But I'm being a pain over this. But Joel and then Gmail, is that address correct? I messaged him earlier today to ask him to confirm his email. He hasn't got excuse me. He hasn't gotten back to me. So it may be my fault because I don't normally communicate with him through email. But that seemed like the best way to do it. So I'm waiting to confirm that email address with him. I got your email. We'll get this sorted. Vera Tumnus Wild. Corpse Bride, bite your tongue. Oh, hi Meg. How's it going? Good to see you here. Why don't you bite my tongue for me? I'm not sure that's actually sexy. I don't know what that was. Getting drunk tonight? No. One hard cider does not get me drunk. I am not that much of a lightweight. Did you hear the rumors that we're getting an Army of Darkness reboot to go along with Evil Dead Rise? Army of Darkness reboot apparently aiming to give us a rebooted Ash Williams. I did not, and I also don't believe it. I have a hard time believing anybody would be that stupid. I mean, there's a reason the one time they did remake Evil Dead, they didn't try and do Ash Williams again. That would have been very, very stupid. So, I did not hear the rumor, and since you're calling it a rumor, I very firmly do not believe that. If it happens, I'll have an opinion, but I don't have an opinion on rumors. I'm actually seeing a production of Arsenic and Old Lace on Halloween weekend. Interesting choice. Not sure if this counts as a Halloween thing, but I've been rewatching Happy Tree Friends. I used to have a Happy Tree Friends shirt. Oh, God, that takes me back. That and Foamy the Squirrel. I was into Foamy more than I was into Happy. I liked Happy Tree Friends. It was fine, but Foamy was where it was at for me in the early 2000s. Oh, dear. Oh, I am old. They're making a Hocus Pocus 2. What are your thoughts? I don't have any. Unlike most people of my generation, I don't really care about Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus for me kind of falls into a little bit of the same situation as Power Rangers, and I know that sounds like an odd comparison, but insofar as in both cases, I was probably about 1 or 2 years too old to get into it. So, like, lots of people who are part of the same generation as me, but a year or two younger, love that stuff. Me, I was like, this isn't very good, because I was old enough to have a more refined critical perspective and realize that it wasn't great. Oh, hi, Knit and Crochet Tiger. Good to see you. Should I wear a harness to go with my reindeer onesie? Depends on the style of harness, I suppose. I'll leave it at that. Have you watched Chucky? I'm not really a big slasher fan, but enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Is that what is that even on? I'm not sure I have whatever service that's on. So no, I haven't as yet. Oh, new type JB Lee. Thank you so very much. You get a heart. I know you're not a fan of Big 2 comics, but I recommend Immortal Hulk for Halloween. It's a self-contained 50-issue series that just wrapped up last week. I've heard very good and very interesting things about Immortal Hulk. Doesn't mean I'll get to it. It kind of falls under the category of somebody's probably going to have to pay me to get to this. But I have heard of it, and I've heard interesting things. Hocus Pocus is a movie I can never criticize because it's so baked in my nostalgia. And that's fair. I've got movies like that too. I was just a little too old to really be the target demographic for that. Like, I remember thinking that, like, they shouldn't have given Bette Midler buck teeth, and that, you know, the jokes were a little too dumb. So, like, that's what I mean when I say I was, like, 1 or 2 years too old for that movie. I'm on candy duty this year. Then again, I've been on candy duty since I was 12 years old. Well, why break the streak now? Chucky, I think, is on Peacock. Peacock's free, I think. Free with ads. Maybe I'll try it. Probably not. I probably won't. I am buried in work. Anyone a fan of Over the Garden Wall? Yes! Ooh, I should watch that this month. Rewatch it. Over the Garden Wall is mwah. Oh, it's so good. Over the Garden Wall is so good. Oh, it's awesome, and it's creepy, and it's weird, and it's charming, and yes to that. So I would report that I saw the new Halloween movie today. As soon as they introduced the gay couple that lived in Michael Myers' childhood home, my heart sank as I knew what was coming. Of course. Labyrinth is a big one for me when it comes to nostalgia. Now, see, Pirates, I have a problem with that statement because the way you word that implies to me that you think it doesn't hold up absent nostalgia. And we're going to have a fight if that's the position you are taking on Labyrinth. No, it's fine. I know it's not perfect, but I personally have there's nothing that is quote unquote wrong with it that I care about or that I actually think is a problem. Would you ever cosplay as Michael or David from Lost Boys? Probably not. I don't want to do the hair. If you say anything positive about Muppets Haunted Mansion, we are going to rumble. Okay, Meg, here's the closest I will come to positive about it, because it is a deeply cynical product. It is basically just the Muppets plugged into the attraction. Here's the thing, though. I just so happen to be at the meeting point for the Venn diagram of people who really like Haunted Mansion and who really like the Muppets. And as I fall in there were lots of little touches I liked. Like, I liked how many tiny details from the ride showed up in the special. It doesn't work as a narrative of any kind, shape, or form. But as someone who loves that attraction and grew up listening to the record that has friggin' Ron Howard playing a teenager on it. As someone who grew up on that, there were enough like little things, little licks of music, like, and specific ghosts and certain things that I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And it being Muppets, I was kind of like, oh, okay. And there was also one good joke. There was one legit good joke, and that is when the various dead husbands of the bride, all of whom she's killed, are talking about their time with her and their relationship with her before she killed them, and then it gets to the penguin, and the penguin just goes, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and they all go, "Oh God, why would you say that? What is wrong with you? I'm sorry, I laughed. That was a good joke." So that's the one highly qualified and the one unqualified bit of praise I'm going to give that, because yeah, it's not good. I'm not even sure what it is. It's not even a special. It's like 40 minutes. It's very strange, like in a bad way. Oh, Captain Omni, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Do you think Evil Dead Rise is going to be able to shake the curse of not having Bruce as Ash, making it not as good? I mean, I haven't been tracking what's going on with Evil Dead Rise, so I'm not even entirely sure I know exactly what it is or what it's planned to be. I mean, the main thing is, I think they already proved that you can have a remake of Evil Dead minus Ash, and that's probably the best way to do it. And if you're going to do it, you should probably do it straight, because most of the humorish aspects of it are somehow funneled through Ash, either his reaction to them or he's providing them directly. There are some other things that are kind of ridiculous and funny about it, even if you didn't have Ash, but I don't think having anyone else's reaction other than Ash's to those things is going to land the same way. But that's me. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe not. Probably not. I doubt they will. I'm trying to get this YouTuber's attention, but I think her spam bot is censoring my comments. Any advice? I have no advice whatsoever. I don't use bots because I am not tech savvy enough. Probably should. I mean, if you're getting caught up with a spam bot, that means you're either saying the exact same thing over and over and over again, or you are sending messages way too rapid fire, too back to back. So I don't know which is the case, and I have no advice to give. I hate the song Dancing in the Moonlight. Okay, well, you're allowed to be wrong. Have you seen Bad Taste? No, I never got around to that one. I have seen Meet the Feebles, and I've seen Brain Dead, or Dead Alive if your country's stupid. That would be my country I just took a dig at, by the way. I'm allowed. But no, I never did get around to Bad Taste when it comes to early Peter Jackson. I've been re-listening to creepypastas, some of the scary, some for laughs. Jeff the Killer. I never got into creepypastas. So, like, I know what they are. I know that they're like a thing, but it just is not something I ever really explored. What are your thoughts on the Pet Sematary bit, the original and the remake? I've only seen most of the original, didn't see the remake, laughed my way through quite a bit of the original. 'Cause I know it's horrible and morbid, but the kid's shoe just flying through the air after he gets hit by the truck. I'm sorry, I laughed my ass off at that. Am I a terrible person? Yes, but not because of that. Bookworm of the fandoms. Hello there, my friend. You get a heart. Thank you so much for the super chat. I second the Immortal Hulk is amazing. I love Bruce Banner. Immortal Hulk was a fun read for me. I only read the first 20 issues so far. Which is the creepiest Doctor Who episode in your opinion? I know a lot of people, when it comes to creepy Doctor Who episodes, tend to either say Blink, which is very creepy, but for me, sort of that's mostly on the initial watch. Once you know what's going on, the atmosphere isn't quite as tense. And then a lot of people will cite Waters of Mars which I think is overrated almost across the board. Not bad, but overrated in almost every area, including being scary. I don't find that one scary at all. So for me, it's The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances. Because the concept of the empty child itself, both the way it's depicted, just this gas mask wearing child that doesn't seem to understand what's going on, and that's one of the few cases where finding out what it is actually makes it scarier to me. And it's the way the doctor has his line. There isn't a child in the world, there isn't a child alive who wouldn't tear the world apart to save his mummy, and this child can. There's something to me, especially now as a parent, deeply terrifying about that kind of power in the hands of a child that is not even evil, but just doesn't know better, just does not have the maturity and the moral and the development of a moral compass to understand the damage that it's doing. That to me is terrifying. So I think the atmosphere still holds up really good, even if you know what's going on and know that it turns out all right. Horror of Fang Rock is a great haunted house story. I still haven't seen that one. New type JB Lee once more. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on the gothic horror era of Doctor Who that was headed by Hinchcliffe and Holmes? Overpraised, rightly praised. It's a beloved period. I've only seen a couple things from that period. I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. So it seems rightly praised. I mean, if you want to say that's not your aesthetic and it's not your jam, that's fine. But it is well done. Excuse me. Do you reckon the other reason you find Waters of Mars overrated is that you're not as invested in Tennant as a character as some others? I don't think so. I mean, the thing is, I never really went in that hard on the whole Time Lord triumphant thing, or sorry, Time Lord victorious thing, because I mean, up until they started releasing new stuff years and years and years and years later, none of which I've seen or read as yet, it is a thing that gets set up and then more or less resolves within the same 20-minute period. So it's hard for me to get any investment or even catharsis out of that. So no, I don't think it's that I'm uninvested in his character. I think all the things that are in it, even the things that work, don't work as well, at least not for me, don't work as well as a lot of people claim they do. Who's your favorite Doctor Who companion from New Who? Donna Noble. Donna Noble has left the library. Donna Noble has been saved. Have you seen the Cowboy Bebop trailer? Did you watch any of the anime? So if by trailer you mean the new video that just came, well, yes, I saw the trailer. There was a newer video that just came out. That was much cooler than the trailer was. I still hate that Vicious is in it because yes, I've seen the anime and the anime is good, but very overrated. I did a whole video on it. You can actually find that. But Vicious is easily the worst thing about the entire show. And I hate that he's in this. He is a boring, generic, stupid, monotonous, pretentious, lousy character, and I really wish he wasn't in it. I have to give credit to the new Candyman film as the brother of the main female character is in a relationship with a man and neither of them end up dead or face danger. Well, that's a nice change of pace, at least. Any opinion on Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Some people hate it, and I think it's great. I have yet to see a Halloween film all the way through. Any of them. I've never seen a single one. Captain Omni, once more, thank you so very much. You get a heart. Frankenstein and werewolves are my favorite monsters, but I find vampires to be less interesting unless it's Dracula or a singular vampire. Where do you stand? Could it be oversaturation for me? Well, I mean, vampires were definitely oversaturated for a while. Personally, the thing is, I gravitate towards vampires, but here's why. I feel like there's a lot more freedom with vampires, and they appeal to me more as a storyteller because I think there's a lot more that you can do with vampires. Whereas with Frankenstein and werewolves, they're good, but unless you are going to completely change the fundamentals of what those monsters are, there is a very small number of stories that you can tell with those monsters, at least ones that I think work. Whereas vampires, whatever you may think of the various iterations, using vampires as a horde creature, as a singular threat, as something in a romance setting, and I feel like there's a lot more flexibility in how you can utilize a vampire, whereas werewolves, you're pretty much always telling a curse story, and in Frankenstein it's always a science goes too far story. I mean, it has to be. That's what they are built to be, whereas vampires are more of they play on more generalized fears, which gives you more freedom of what to do with them. Were we oversaturated with zombies? It seems to have eased off a little, but yeah, we have been for a bit. Have you seen Nightmare Before Christmas then? Oh, of course I've seen that one. Saw that in the theater when it first came out. Coming to the end of my first week fully out as transit school. Oh, that's great, Louise. Feeling amazing to be wearing clothes that I feel good in and hearing my correct name be used by teachers. Oh, that's wonderful. Have you ever seen Dancing with the Stars? Nope. Are you excited for Series 13 of Doctor Who, or do you just want the Chibnall era to be over? I want Series 13 to be good, but I don't have a lot of confidence that it will be. So I am approaching Series 13 with just a general sense of tension. Do you plan to see Dune? Oh, yes, I will indeed be seeing Dune. Why are you upset they're remaking an American Werewolf in London? You think that the original is overrated? I do, but it's also a product of its time. And the things that make it good, you can't recapture. It was a monument of a transformation sequence, but it'll never be the first time for that kind of transformation again. So, trying to recapture that, and they've tried now several times to recapture the slightly funny vibe while still being a horror movie, and fallen on their face. And if all you're capturing is the vibe, just make a new damn movie. What are your thoughts on Edgar Allan Poe? The main thing that I think about Edgar Allan Poe these days is hang on. Am I still up? On my end, it went down. Are you folks still seeing me? Let me know. Okay. All right, so it's just my playback that's being stupid. All right, that's fine then. The thing that's funny to me to think about Edgar Allan Poe was I had forgotten, and then somebody on TikTok reminded me that he's from Boston. And so now I tend to think about Edgar Allan Poe and his macabre works with a Boston accent. On a midnight dank and dreary, as I pondered, weak and weary, there came a rapping on my parlor door. Have you seen No Time to Die yet? It kept my dad awake, so 5 stars for me. I have not. I don't know when I'm going to get to see it. It's hard for me to prioritize these things, especially now that pretty much all the reviews other than Doctor Who go to the break room now, so I don't feel as pressured to get to things right away. Is it me or is the Treehouse of Horror episodes just meh? I don't know. I haven't seen one in probably a decade. Oh, Captain Omni, once more, thank you so very much. I do appreciate it a lot. Have you ever read any Vampirella? And if not, I recommend Christopher Priest's current run. She's one of the few vampires I'm really into. I have not. I have, however, seen someone cosplay Vampirella very accurately, and that was at Terrificon. Whoo! I am shocked they let her on the floor with that outfit. Weird timing, but I've just finished up the Stranded audio set. The character of Tanya Bell is a fantastic example of trans representation played by a trans actress too. That's great. Glad to hear that. Off topic, Rachel Levine, open transgender official, has been sworn in as an admiral of the U.S. Public Health Commission Corps. Yes, I heard about that today. Yeah, that was very nice. That was very welcome news. Meg. Meg just gave me $6.66. Cheeky. Do you have a favorite SFX makeup from a movie? Like legit makeup, no CGI. Ooh. That is tough. Like I tend to lean towards a lot of the stuff that Doug Jones has performed. And obviously he didn't create the makeups that he's in, but you know, whether it be The Shape of Water, or whether it be the Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth, he gets put in really, really good makeup. There's probably some others. Honestly, I'm still just kind of impressed that Hellboy got done completely practically and moved as well as it did. On Ron Perlman, the David Harbour one. I didn't watch it, but I did see clips of him. And like, God, he looks like he can't move at all. There's probably other. Oh, yes, Rainy Shed, Tim Curry and Legend. Okay, yes. No, that takes it. That is the one. Yes, thank you. I was actually, at the time I read your comment, I was literally just thinking, I'm gonna think of something once this is done that I should have said, and that is the thing that I would have thought of later. So thank you for saying yes. Yes, Darkness in Legend. Holy shit. So good. Rose McGowan. Thank you very much. No questions or comments, but you get a heart all the same. Thank you. Thank you so much. Got to introduce Over the Garden Wall to some friends recently. They're going to have potatoes and molasses stuck in their head for life. Oh, God, it's so good. Yeah, I definitely should have rewatched that. Do you think Doctor Who will get a New Year's special? I have no idea. It's odd to me that sometimes, like, somebody asked me if I thought that Russell T. Davis would bring back the Christmas special versus New Year's, and my thought is, I don't think the showrunner has control over that by themselves. Pretty sure BBC planners have more control over that. So, yeah, I don't know. And I have no way of gauging that. Between reading SCP documents, would recommend for Halloween. Good ones included The Flesh That Hates, Old Fairgrounds, anything related to sarcasm. Don't know what that is. Doug Jones would be a great scarecrow. He nailed the tall and extremely lanky and thin scarecrow. I honestly feel like Billy from Hocus Pocus is a borderline scarecrow in terms of the way he performs it. What's your favorite trash TV? I don't know. Gotham, probably. Gotham is trash, but God, it's fun trash. It was lovely to hear Tim Curry as Auntie Whispers, but it did make me feel a bit sad. Yeah, I am glad that he has started working again since his stroke, but yeah, it is tough. That said, it's actually become easier for me to listen to since I met him in person. Because even with the restrictions on his voice, so much humanity just comes through. And being able to for all of 20 seconds, but being able to meet him in person, I'm now less troubled by when I hear him speak now. Something about experiencing it in person made it much more like, oh, that's okay. That's still him. Let's see. Oh, new type JB Lee. Thank you again. Thoughts on Lovecraft? Does he get too much credit? Yes and no. So here's the 1-2 punch on that. The guy honestly deserves a lot of credit for pioneering cosmic horror. He was doing something that almost no one else was doing, and doing it better for a very, very long time. That said, I kind of wish not so many people used the term Lovecraft or Lovecraftian for the genre or the type of horror. I wish they would just say cosmic horror. I kind of want to detach his name from it, just because the guy was so racist. Like, yes, I know, even at the time, the world, people, white people in America in general were pretty damn racist. I mean, a lot of us are pretty racist now, but like, we're pretty damn racist at the time, and openly so. But even for the time, he was real racist. So I kind of wish fewer people would directly evoke his name. I definitely wish fewer people would like make him a character in things. Like, don't do that. Do you read poetry? And if so, do you have any favorites? I don't read books of poetry. I read poetry like in scant bits here and there. I have some friends who are poets who I'm always very flattered when they share their work with me. But like books of poetry or whatnot isn't something that I generally seek out. I didn't know you met Tim Curry. When did that happen? That happened at Boston Fan Expo 2017, I think. Pretty sure. It's 2017 or 2016. I can't remember now. It was one of the two. I wasn't actually going to go at all until I found out that he was going to be there. I'm like, I have to go. And I did almost nothing other than drive down, meet him, and drive back. Like, I walked the floor a little bit. But normally for a con, I'll get a hotel room and stay the night and do 2 days. I didn't. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money. But yeah, no, that was that was really something. Opinion on the web show Ask Lovecraft. I don't know. I didn't know it existed. My immediate hope is that his answer to every single question, regardless of what it is and regardless of context, is just some version of it's because of the non-white people. Like with really wide eyes. That's what I want it to be. Don't know if it is. But if you had a mini scope, what would you want to put in it? I'm not sure if I totally know what that is. I'm missing the context on that. If you tell me what it is, I'll probably be like, oh, yeah. But are you going to see the new Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson? Yeah, eventually. I'm not super excited about it because the trailer was very action focused, and the pitch I remember being much more this is Batman the detective, and I don't want this to be Batman the detective insofar as he just beats up suspects and get the answers. I want him to legitimately have to solve crap, and there's none of that in the trailer. It may still be in the movie, but it's not in the marketing right now. Rose McGowan, again, thank you so much. Rumors of Sony buying Doctor Who, your thoughts? They can't. Okay, so that was a whole confusion over that. Sony is not in a position to buy Doctor Who. What Sony did was Sony acquired Bad Wolf Studio, which is currently producing Doctor Who. But Bad Wolf Studio doesn't own Doctor Who. The IP is owned by the BBC. The Bad Wolf production is simply the production that is currently going to be working on it, but they don't own it. So Sony acquiring them never ever put them in line to actually acquire Doctor Who, in much the same reason that when Microsoft bought Rare, they didn't suddenly have the rights to Donkey Kong, because Nintendo owned that. They just had Rare making the games for them. So that the fact that that was ever a thing that was being talked about was just massive misunderstanding of how production and acquisition and IP rights work. Have you ever taken a nap during the daytime? Oh yeah, of course I have. The first trailer for the Batman was detective focused. It really wasn't. The first trailer, I mean, it was trying to evoke Seven. I wouldn't call that a detective focus, though. Favorite story of season 23, Time in the Ronnie, Paradise Towers, Delta and the Bannerman, or Dragonfire? At time of speaking, the only one of those I've seen is Time in the Ronnie, so I'm just going to punt that question for right now, if it's all the same. From Carnival of Monsters. Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Okay, that's why I didn't get it. Do you like Shakespeare plays? I like some of them. I think Shakespeare was very good at what he did. I don't always love what he did. Some of what he did has held up better than others, but he was real good at his job. Captain Omni, my goodness. All kinds of love coming from you today. I love it. Something badass for non-binary rep. A badass non-binary barbarian. I'm a huge Conan fan, Red Sonja and He-Man fan, so I want raw warrior goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes. I would be so in favor of that. Have you seen Just Beyond on Disney Plus? Nope. Haven't heard of it. Don't know what it is. Favorite chapter of Over the Garden Wall? See, that's the problem. It's been so long since I've seen it. They're bleeding together in my head. I'm leaning towards either the haunted house one or the farming village. But it's been a little while. Favorite Tim Burton movie? Like, here's the thing. I will argue that his best movie is Sweeney Todd. I go back and forth as to whether it's my favorite. I think between that and Beetlejuice. What if Shakespeare doesn't hold up? I mean, some of it has to do with the story's just been aped too many times. By other people who've redone it, recycled his stuff. Although, to be fair, a lot of his plots were recycled as well. But there's things like Taming of the Shrew, which is great up until the ending, which is terrible. There's things like that. Would you ever see Six if it does a national tour? I would like to. Would I ever, as a practical matter? Probably not. I doubt it would come to Vermont. Which classic Who story is up next for review, if I may ask? Dragonfire is the next one up, and I really want to get it in for this month. Okay, Meg. Thank you so much for stopping in. Much love. I appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat earlier as well. I miss my Twitch emotes. I gotta get some more of those made. How are we for time? Okay, all right. I had to do math in my head because normally I start at 7. This time I started at 7:30. Would you ever do a burlesque number song to Anaconda by Nicki Minaj? Nope. Nope, absolutely not. Ooh, Discord. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you very, very much. Pull that up. Let's see what we've got. And a reminder that the other way other than Super Chats is to guarantee that I answer questions is that there is a live stream channel on the Discord server, which is a perk for the Patreon supporters. So patreon.com/Council of Geeks. Maybe check that out. Hey, why not? Anyways, first up, so what if the flux is Dr. Emmett Brown's flux capacitor, and the Doctor's on an epic quest to stop Biff Tannen, aka you-know-who, unleashing the evils of the universe, and she doesn't know because no one did to 2020. Like, there's zero possibility of that being the case, but that's a fun idea. I kind of want someone to do like a webcomic version of that idea. I'm just in here to say, hey, I'm here because it's either this or watching my dad watch the Braves, and I hate the Braves. Fair. I don't watch sports of any kind, so I get you. Ooh, Brian. All right, I'm back. So I'm seeing the chat, and Brian L., you get a heart. Got your book. Can't wait to read it. Thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. I hope that you like it. And I hope if you like it, maybe you'll think about reviewing it on Goodreads. What? Who said that? I didn't say that. Why don't you like slasher movies? There's too formulaic. And by and large, like there are occasional exceptions, but for the most part, the characters are so shallow and the story is so repeated. It's the same thing every time. Most people that I know who really like slashers are really into the kills, like they're gore hounds or they're really into makeup effects. And while I can appreciate those things, they're not enough to carry a movie for me. So, like, I'm not going to say there's no such thing as a good slasher movie. There are a few, but it's just not my genre. I liked Ghostlight. I need to rewatch Ghostlight because I remember almost liking Ghostlight. Ever seen anything from Jimmy Screamer Claus? It's not for everyone, and much of what he does is a fever dream where the dead go to die still haunts me. None of those words rang a bell at all. So, no, I have not. Would you ever cosplay as Freddy Krueger or Jason? No, because that's some of the most basic, obvious stuff ever. Like I would never cosplay as Jason because I don't have the build for it. The only way you could get me to cosplay as Freddy Krueger is if I could get a professional makeup artist to recreate the actual makeup as opposed to have to put a friggin' rubber Freddy face mask on, because I'm not doing that crap. Vera, if my channel takes off, I will do a 5-hour video essay on why your book doesn't have enough nodding in it. You know what, Ben? I expect from you a report on exactly how many nods are in that book. Because I could pull up the manuscript and do a search for the word nod and find out for myself. But I'd rather have you do some investigation and tell me how many times there's a nod. I'm into very specific slashers, not the genre in general. Do you like the movie Final Girls? Never seen it? What about Michael Myers? Again, like it's such an obvious costume. And again, like I don't have the build for it. Another author who helped develop cosmic horror just as much as Hippopotamus Love Clan is Franz Kafka, a.k.a. Frank the Jackdaw. Well, Kafka... It's interesting because Kafka definitely did deal in a similar kind of existential dread that Lovecraft did. He sort of came at it from a different angle. But they did kind of truck in similar emotional cores in some ways. Yeah. Valid. I like it. Speaking of Ghostlight, the policeman getting turned into primordial soup was terrific, if only for the Cream of Scotland yard line. I don't remember that line at all. I really need to rewatch that one. Excuse me. Why do you like the song Dancing in the Moonlight? Because it's catchy and fun. Dancing in the moonlight, everybody. Franz Kafka is my favorite last words ever. Kill me or else you are a murderer. Would you describe the setting of 1984 as Kafkaesque? I guess you could. But the thing is, it's Orwellian. That became its own term. like, okay, so Orwell again kind of dealt with a certain kind of existential fear, but I think there's a gradation. Lovecraft funneled his existential fears just into flat out monsters. Kafka got a bit more political with it, but could still get weird with stuff like Metamorphosis. And then Orwell was just all politics version of existential dread. Excuse me. Have you had any Kafkaesque experiences? Not legitimate ones. No. As a privileged upper middle class white person, no, I definitely haven't. Are you familiar with the Xena episode where Ted Raimi sings Dancing in the Moonlight? Nope. I didn't watch that much of Xena, so no, I didn't know that one. Sorry, Vera, did you just ask me to count something? Did you just give me maths homework? Yes. Now the question is, are you going to do it? Or are you going to disappoint me? Trust me, you don't want to know anything about where the dead go to die. I only knew of it because of Animat's review, and the little I saw made me want to poke my eyes out. Oh, lovely. If I can give my thoughts on John Kent being bi, oh, of course you can, Logan. Keep in mind, I mean, zero offense, but I don't care as long as it's written well and not ham-fisted. Again, no offense intended. So, okay, here's what I'm going to say about that. In terms of the general sentiment, Logan, absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is, and this, I am not judging you, like, I get it, but here's what I'm going to say. You do have to be careful about vocalizing that sentiment. Not that I'm saying you don't have the right to say that. You absolutely do. But the problem is when something like that happens, to say, I don't care, or any variant thereof. And I know that's not the complete thought. The complete thought was, I don't care as long as it's well written. And I get that. But the instant you inject the words, I don't care, it does appear to undermine and neglect the inherent value of the representation, even if it isn't good. So you want to be careful about putting an I don't care sentiment or any variant thereof out into the world around something like this where a lot of people need the representation. Again, I'm not saying you can't feel that way. It's a totally valid way to feel. I'm not even saying you can't say it. I'm just saying be careful how and when you express that you're not diminishing or invalidating what people are taking away from the representation and the inclusion. Cool? Cool. Are you wearing a wig? Nope. What do you think of Lower Decks? Are you even a Trekkie? I hesitate to call myself a Trekkie just because I don't... My relationship with Star Trek is spotty. I do like Star Trek. I've only seen the first episode of Lower Decks, and it was fine. I don't have Paramount Plus, so don't really. I'm not gonna get it just for Star Trek. That I suppose that's the line. I'm not enough of a Trekkie to shell out for the Paramount Plus service. So take that as you will. The 1954 animated film of Animal Farm is pretty good, even though they changed the ending. I never read that book, nor have I seen any of the adaptations. That's one of those school reading staples that I never got assigned. I went to the Van Gogh exhibit in New York City last month. I tried to explain to them that he visited his own exhibit in the future, but they didn't believe me. Well, Brian, not everyone's going to get it, unfortunately. Would you want Paramount Plus if they gave you a free subscription? I mean, would I want it? Would I take it? Sure. Whatever. What's your favorite song of all time? I don't have one. My feelings on songs change too frequently. I do not have a favorite song of all time. How's the cider? It's good. It's woodchuck, so of course it's good. It's always good. Made in Vermont. That's the stuff. Something I found out recently, Cartmel had nothing to do with the master plan and it was never going to happen and had the show not ended. Huh. Do you have a source on that? Shoot me in an email because I'd love to dig into that because if true, I'd like to have that in my back pocket as a piece of knowledge, but I kind of want to source that. I assume Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 2 series won't convince you to get Hulu either. I'm sorry, the what? The what now? No, it wouldn't, but I'm curious all of a sudden. Can you fart with your armpit? I can't, not with this, because this is too tight and I can't get in there. But yes, I am capable. This whole, this outfit is snug on me. It actually flattens my chest a little bit. Is Luca Halloween themed considering it has sea monsters in it? That's a stretch. How drunk are you right now? I am not. I am mildly tipsy. It was one cider. I'm not that much of a lightweight. Thanks for understanding, Vera. I'm always afraid to post my thoughts on a subject of that nature. I'll try to say it better. Again, thanks for understanding. Of course, Logan. Of course, and you've been around my channel. You've been in my chats long enough. I know you mean well. And so that's why I want to be as helpful as possible. And thank you for understanding where I was coming from when I answered the question. There we go. Everybody's good. Return to Oz is somewhat Halloween themed. I mean, it takes place in October. Does it? Okay. Let's see here. I think might be wrapping it up soon. So if people want to get their questions and or super chats, give me money, in, this would be a good time to do it. Because I am going to wrap it up in a little bit. It's a shame you're not drunk because I would love for you to get the hiccups right now. I don't have to be drunk to get the hiccups. I actually get hiccups freaking randomly. And they're actually really loud and really persistent. And they hurt when I get them. So, favorite Halloween treats, snacks, or pastries? Favorite unhealthy pumpkin shit. You know what I liked? I remember there were Halloween themed. I don't see them anymore. I remember there were Halloween themed Cadbury's eggs, where the sort of goo inside was green. I think the food coloring gave it a slightly different consistency. I liked those. Those were good. Why do you always say that I'm wrong? 'Cause it's fun. You don't want me to have fun? What's one show you are a fan of that you feel doesn't get enough recognition? I'm intrigued about watching new stuff at the moment. Gargoyles? I feel like when it comes to serialized storytelling and more mature storytelling in cartoons, everyone cites Avatar: The Last Airbender. And people my age will cite Batman the Animated Series. Not enough people give Gargoyles the freaking credit it deserves for both being as mature as Batman, if not more at times, and being way more serialized than really any other cartoon up to that point, and for a long time after. Gargoyles was great. Not enough people give that credit. Are you trying to get back at me for trolling and harassing you? I don't know. You assume I have a plan to what I'm doing. That's your first mistake. One more thing, love. I want to say tiefling. Sorry for the misspelling. And remember, don't waste your time bearing grudges. And live life with love in your heart. Aw. Thank you so much. Cadbury was decent up until Nestle gobbled them. Oh, crap. Nestle bought them? Well, I will never buy a Cadbury product again. Fuck. Nestle is like people know my thoughts on capitalism in general, huge corporations in particular. Nestle is one of the absolute worst companies in the goddamn world. Do not buy a Nestle product. Do not buy anything from their subsidiaries. Ever. 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 And if people want to check out Gargoyles, by the way, it's on Disney Plus. So if you've got that, it's right there, the whole thing. You only really bother with the first 2 seasons. I don't know if they have the 3rd season, The Chronicles of Goliath, on it. Don't bother with that. The creator disowned it, said it was non-canon. But the first 2 seasons, oh man. We'll try to find more sources, but I do know that first mention of the other was in a novel not written by Cartmel, and the planned final stories for Sylvester McCoy didn't mention it. Okay, well, I mean, that's a start. Because there, so based off that, you did kind of make a leap, because there is a difference between there isn't a ton of direct evidence of it in the work, and this was never going to happen. Because the way you said it before implied that he at some point went on the record and said, yeah, no, I wasn't going to do that. And that's not quite what you're selling me now. If there's ever a live-action Gargoyles movie, no. But, okay, let's move on. Hire whoever you want to do the motion capture, but have Keith David back as the voice of Goliath. Well, duh. Keith David's voice. You know, a lot of people cite, the Disney Robin Hood, now Zootopia, or Lion King as like being the birthplace of a lot of furries. Keith David as Goliath, birthplace of a lot of monster fuckers. I guarantee it. Do you like Pillsbury? Never. No, not particularly. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's me, Harry. Also want to say thanks for all the great content. Well, thank you. Thanks so much. Just hopped on. I love the horns. Well, I'm glad you got to catch them, Sarita. I actually am going to get going. So you just caught them. Excuse me. If you want a game to review, I recommend No More Heroes by Grasshopper Manufacturer. It's really best not to recommend fully 3D free movement games for me, either in first person or third person. I get motion sick playing them. I need 2D fixed camera, or I need isometric. Is kind of where I'm at. With that voice, who can blame them? I know, right, Carolyn? Not saying like that. I'm also not saying no. I'm back. Have you ever been to a corn maze before? Yes, once. I will never do it again. I'm watching this on my TV across the room, and my cat looked up at you like, who is that? Oh, that's cute. I love it. See, I should go, but I keep seeing fun stuff in the chat. Well, there's also the fact that Carmel said he wanted to bring mystery back to the Doctor, and the master plan is the opposite of that. Platt and Aronovich take more credit for it. I mean, yeah, but also people are saying the same thing about Timeless Child, and I would argue the exact same thing in that case too, but people still make the argument. So there seems to be a bit of a disconnect for what people think counts as mystery. There's quite a few Star Trek Next Generation cast members in Gargoyles. Oh, yeah. And Frakes as David Xanatos, one of the best cartoon villains ever. He's great. Marina Sirtis as Demona is awesome. Michael Dorn comes in to voice a character at one point. Oh, it's good stuff. Do you like pumpkin spice lattes? I'm over them. I did for a time. What about Undertale or Deltarune? We'll play them at some point. Have not yet. Do you like pit bulls? Yeah, they're cute. Thank you for your review of Doctor Who Edge of Reality. I can use the $25 for something else. Yes, please do. Oh, dear God. My favorite mythological monster or storybook monster is the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. That's a good pick. I'm one of my Halloween staples is the Disney version of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. There's that one shot where the horseman rears back. He's got the pumpkin and the sword. And he's just laughing, and it's the horseman and the horse are like almost completely black, and it's like this pinkish red light behind them, and the horns come in on the soundtrack. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Do you have a Discord? I do, Tara. However, it is a Patreon perk. So at the $2 tier or higher on my Patreon, that gets you access to the Discord. Would you play video game morality play? Don't know enough about it to know whether or not I would play it. Sleepy Hollow is not brainless, it's headless. When the spooks have a midnight jamboree. Can't keep singing. So let me see here. Yeah, I should. Yes, I should wrap it up. I keep talking. I should wrap it up. Oh yes, thank you, Carolyn. She knows how to keep me in line. So tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Twitch stream. Still playing Hades. Twitch.tv/Council of Geeks. Join me there. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. It's kind of horny. I'm so here for it, and I'm having a lot of fun with the people who are joining me on that stream. So that is gonna wrap it up. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week, a great rest of the month. I'm not gonna get to see you again before Halloween, so just take care. Be well. Be safe. Be kind. Because you are beautiful. You are valid. And you are loved. You are the council. I'm just running the meetings, and until next time, this council is adjourned. McCavity!